Episode 25, let's go.
1.0. So we happily move along in our world until suddenly we miss a jump and fall into the abyss. And then nothing happens. Let's change that. The first thing we want to do is limit our camera so that it doesn't follow our player when we fall down. Luckily, this is really easy to do. We simply select our camera under the player, go under limit, and here we can set our position
my!
limit for the left, top, right, and bottom part of our camera. In our case, we need to set a limit for the bottom position. To do this, we can use the ruler tool here at the top, or simply press R, and measure from this baseline here to where we would like the limit of our camera to be. I think a good value would be somewhere around, say, 120. So I'll simply go back to select mode and put in 120 pixels on the bottom. I'm also going to enable smoothing, and now when we play, we can see that our camera will follow the player, but whenever we fall off, it's simply going to stay put. Next, we need to detect that our player has entered a dangerous area and restart the game. In other words, we need to create a kill zone. I'll show you a really cool way to do this that allows us to reuse the same kill zone for more than just falling off the map, such as for spike traps, enemies, all kinds of elements of danger. And when we want to create a reusable element, we start by making a scene.
Oh my! Who would have thought, bro?
Then to detect if we enter an area, we again use the Area 2D node. And let's make sure to set the collision mask here to 2. We only want to check for the player, which is on layer 2. And we won't add a collision shape here. That's because we want to be able to reuse this for all kinds of elements that might have different shapes.
Okay, sure. Um, um, okay. I see. Uh, sure. I guess, yeah, let's just do, that's cool. That's cool, actually. Um, you know what? Sure. Why not? What was it? 220? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like how left or how top is negative. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. Whatever.
Instead, let's simply go ahead and rename this now to kill zone and save it as a new scene. Then in our game scene, we can add it by dragging it in or simply pressing the link button here and selecting the kill zone. And then in here, we'll add the collision shape. So I'm going to hit Ctrl A, collision shape, And for the shape, we'll use the same world boundary shape that we used earlier for the ground. Now let's make sure to select the kill zone node itself, go into move, and use the move tool to position it down here at the bottom. I'm going to place it pretty far down so we're sure we don't hit this by accident. Or I mean, we're going to be hitting it by accident, so let's make sure we don't hit it on purpose? Or I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to place it down here a good bit away. I'm going to place it pretty far down so we're sure we don't hit this by accident. Or I mean, we're going to be...
Yeah, I kind of put it pretty far down so we make sure we don't hit it the wrong way. So we make sure we hit it just right. You know? Aha. I'm just gonna do hazard. That's fine. Sure. Yeah, this is definitely far more complex than... Actually, can't I just... What do I want to... what do I want to change this to? Like, I can put all these coins in something to collapse it, I guess, right? I can put them in a node to just make them all neat, I guess. Yeah, okay. Then I'm gonna put... Sure. Let's see. I'm gonna make this... Like, I guess I can just... Where can I put this on? What is something that's not going to move? Probably this. Yeah. And then I can probably put this under here as well. And I'm gonna rename this to dangerous platform. That's kind of the opposite of what I had it as before. That's kind of the opposite of what I named it. Um, okay, then I do... This should really be up here. Oh, it doesn't change it. Nice. Perfect. It's perfect. But then I can delete this actually.
Hitting it by accident, so let's make sure we don't hit it on purpose. Or, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to place it down here a good bit away from our level. And now we can add a script to make something happen when we enter the area. So in our kill zone, let's select it, add a new script. For the template here, I'm just going to select empty and
Okay.
the path, let's put it under the scripts folder. And now we have this empty script to play with.
Yay. Hmm.
I'm going to connect a signal, so go node, make sure we have the kill zone node selected, and again we'll use the body entered signal. So let's double click it, hit connect, and it's going to create a new function on body entered, in which case we can go ahead and print that you died. And now if we play and jump down, it's going to print that we died. Now, instead of immediately restarting the game, let's add a small delay. We do this using another node called the timer node. So let's add a new node, search for timer, and under the inspector here, we can choose some different things about it. Let's set the wait time to something like 0.6 seconds. Let's also...
Wow. No shot. No shot. This actually is built in.
make it a one shot to make sure that it doesn't loop. We can then start this timer in our code. To do that, however, we first need a reference to it. Luckily, that's as simple as going to the top of our code, clicking and dragging the timer node, and holding down Control while releasing. This creates a variable called timer that automatically finds the node using this path. Now, if you haven't worked with paths before, going to the top of our code, clicking and dragging the timer node, and holding down Control while releasing. This creates a variable called timer that automatically while to the top of our code, clicking and dragging the timer node, and holding down Control while releasing. This creates a variable called timer that automatically finds the node using this path.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely prefer Unity. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll get used to it. Sure.
Now, if you haven't worked with paths before, they are actually quite simple. They specify a way to get from one node to another in the tree. So if we look at this example tree, to get from the game node to the camera, the path looks like this. It goes through the player and ends with the camera. And in our case, where we just want to get from the kill zone to the timer right underneath, we don't have to go through any other nodes, so the path is simply timer. Again, right now we're brushing over concepts such as variables and functions pretty briefly, but you can learn more about programming and what all this really means in our upcoming video on GDScript. For now, just know that using this click and drag method, we can now access our timer node using the name timer. So to start our timer, we make a new line and write timer.start. Of course, we now need to trigger some code when our timer runs out. And again, we can use a signal for this. So with our timer node selected, let's go under node, and here's the timeout signal. So let's double click that and hit connect. And this creates a new function called onTimerTimeout that runs when the timer ends. And then in here, we can simply restart our game. To do this, we first access the scene tree, so get tree, and tell it to reload, so reload current scene. So our player enters the kill zone and triggers the onBodyEntered function.
Okay.
This prints a message that we died and starts the timer. When the timer runs out, it triggers the onTimerTimeout function, which then reloads our scene and restarts the game. And indeed, when we play and jump off the map, we fall down and the scene restarts. Great! It's an infinite loop. Help me! I'm stuck! World building.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's a little more complex than Unity, for sure. Sure. But I guess I will get the hang of it. Okay, nice.
Trigger some code when our timer runs out. And again, we can use a signal for this. So with our timer node selected, let's go under node, and here's the timeout signal. So let's double click that and hit connect. And this creates a new function called onTimerTimeout that runs when the timer ends. And then in here, we can simply restart our game. To do this, we first
What happens if I just ignore this? So what does this do? It doesn't tell me. Nice. I do have to say, Visual Studio is more helpful, for sure. When it comes to learning how to program. What is this? Okay. Okay. Oh, what in the world? Okay. Uh, what? Oh, yes, I see. This can also go in the tile map. That's fine. Um, like, okay. You know what? Never mind. It doesn't really make a difference. All right, let's get it. Should be good. Yep. Nice.
First, access the scene tree, so get tree, and tell it to reload. So reload current scene.
I guess I
So
can
our
do the
player
next section.
enters the
That's
kill zone
fine.
and triggers the on-body entered function. This prints a message that we died and starts the timer. When the timer runs out, it triggers the on-timer timeout function, which then reloads our scene and restarts the game. And indeed, when we play and jump off the map, we fall down and the scene restarts. Great. It's an infinite loop. Help me. I'm stuck. World building 2.0. Let's expand on our game world a bit now that we have more elements to work with. First of all, I want to make sure that we stay organized. So let's take some of these nodes and categorize them. The easiest way to do this is by simply adding a new node. For this one, I'm just going to select the base node here, hit create, and now we can rename this. I'll make one for, say, coins, and simply take all of the coins and drag them under that node. We can do the same thing
Wow.
for platforms
True.
and any other elements that are cluttering up your scene. Now I'm going to paint in a bit more level and change the things that I don't like. Don't like. And I'll put in some more gameplay elements. I'll also paint in some background tiles. But to do this, we need to add another layer to our tile map. So not under our tile set, but under the tile map itself, we have this layers. And this is the one we've been painting in. Let's just call this mid for midground and add another one that we can call background. Let's move this to the top to make sure that it's drawn first. And now when painting, we need to select the right layer to paint on. So let's select the background, and then we can start painting in some background tiles. A nice trick here is to use the rectangle tool to paint in a lot of tiles at once.
Wow.
At once. A nice trick here is to use the rectangle tool to paint in a lot of tiles at once. And now our game looks a lot better. It has a background and a whole new part of the level that we can explore.
Wait,
And
those
of course,
are
this process is just about trying things out and making changes until you're satisfied.
supposed to be
During
clouds.
large-scale battles with military vehicles, the online action game War Thunder has received a major update. Direct Hit. Joining the battle are machines like the Soviet MiG-27M, American Abrams HC, the Swedish Viggen, and many other new vehicles. Push these modern machines to their limit on the new map Spaceport. Dozens of players participate in a single battle using tanks, planes, and
No
helicopters.
way!
Unique
I
modules,
can't
smoke grenades.
believe it!
Enemy. A proper hero of
Okay. What? 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 Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I like how he still hasn't shown us how to turn the fudging thing around, like how to turn the character sprite around. But yeah, sure, I'll try out that thing that he did. That's fine. Okay. Uh, then we do this, then we do sure. Uh, sure, ground. I'm just gonna gound. Let's do Gorund. Goron. Background. Sure, good enough. Yeah, nice. All right. And I'm assuming I can't flip this. And are these the same color here? This and this? They look like the same color. Yes. Poggers. Um, Interesting. Okay. I do like this white color here. You know, these just seem so dull, is the only thing. Like, all of these just seem so dull. You know, I'm gonna do yellow. Money, 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 ocho, money, okay, um, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That's, and then I do want to do, oh, nice. I actually can move and fill at the same time. That's cool. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fine. This is going to be very harsh on my eyes. I love that. I love that. Yeah, let's just do something simple. You know, not a big deal. I'm gonna go blind, but it's fine. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm not gonna go blind. It's not as jarring as I thought it would be, but it is still pretty jarring. Play the sound, you stupid. You stupid. You stupid. Um, I am going to. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm gonna change this a little bit. I'm gonna make this all like that, and then like that. That's fine. Oh, that looks horrible. That looks, yeah, that looks pretty bad. Okay, never mind. Nice, perfect. Morning, 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 okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I do like that orange though. There. You know what? That yeah. I'm gonna make this like that. Okay. Guess I also have to remove this. Let's just do yeah, I mean it's gonna look a little weird, but it's okay. Okay, let's go to this one now. Can I, oh, this one, no. How do I switch? Uh, what? Wait, what? Do I actually have to switch them every single time I want to... What? Whatever. That's all I want to do anyway. Now I can do... Oh wait, how would this look? Even. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make one more layer of this here. And then that, I'm gonna make this a layer. And then I'm going to see what this looks like here. Actually, no, I'm gonna fill this in first. Then I'm gonna boom, and then I'm gonna slam. Alright, perfect. Let's see what that looks like. It completely blocks it. Nice. 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 Wow, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Wait. How did he do this?
Of course, needs a background, and then we can start painting in some background tiles.
No. Mm. Okay. Oh, I see, I see. There you go. That that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm just gonna remove that too. Looks kind of ugly. What happens if I do this? Will it still work? Yes. Yes. Yeah, it will. Okay. Alright, that should be it for this episode. Alright. Do I have everything saved? Yes. Alright, yep. Enemy.
And now our game more satisfied. Better, it has a background and a whole new part of the level that we can explore. And of course, this process is just about trying things out and making changes until you're satisfied. This process is just about trying things out and making changes that we can explore. And of course, this process is just about trying things out and making changes until you're satisfied. Enemy. A proper hero, of course, needs a good enemy.
Audio! Minnesota! Pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you everyone for watching. That should have been episode 25, I think. And you will all see me tomorrow.